gonna make one small adjustment.
All right, we are now officially recording to the cloud as we usually do. And I will wait until 5:30 proper to push us live to YouTube. And I'm gonna also post to Facebook that this is going on right now with the YouTube link. All right, I'm gonna push us live to YouTube now. Hold on a hot second. It wants me to log in from Steve's account. Do I have the password?
Which YouTube login are you
The events
using
one.
right now? That
I'm trying the events one. I have the credentials.
mm-hmm.
That did not work. Okay. Sarah, is it typically we go through the Vine one for YouTube? I haven't ever streamed to YouTube on here before.
I haven't been able to successfully do it since Jared left because he had the logins for that. So I haven't been able to get it to go live.
Who has been doing it?
We haven't been doing a live stream. We've been doing recordings that need to be uploaded to our YouTube.
I was not made aware of that. Okay. Let me go on mute and try to plink plonk around a little bit and see if I can figure it out.
For sure. Thank you.
Do you, Sarah, you do have, what's up? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to say, the reason when I fiddled around with it once before was that it required like a 48-hour turnaround time to activate like a new YouTube something. So okay. it might be a little tricky to try to. Well,
I guess we can, if we aren't doing it to YouTube, then we can go to Facebook.
Sure, yeah.
Which we were hoping to do both, but I didn't realize we hadn't been streaming to YouTube. The last meeting we were on, we did go live to YouTube. I remember doing it.
Did we?
Mm-hmm. It looks like Maggie is here. She might be able to help us once she is live.
So. I have not done it myself personally.
Cool. Sorry for not figuring that out. I just assumed that the live to YouTube button would get me what I needed. So, Maggie, you are muted.
Welcome to Chelsea and Maya. Also, hello. It's nice to see your faces here.
I know, it's great seeing all of you.
I think we'll probably have a few stragglers filing in still, so just take a few minutes, whatever. We're getting used to the tech delays at this point, I think. Something comes up just about every time. So.
It's always something. For me today, it was my internet. I am live from a friend's house. Because the show must go on. Yeah. Maggie, we are unable to get it to run to YouTube. You successfully did that last time, yeah?
I know we did it together somehow.
Did you use were you logged into events at vineneighborhood.org through Google and YouTube?
I thought, so I'm pretty sure, Erin, that when we did our last meeting, that would have been like the EC meeting, where we did the election planning meeting. I thought we streamed that one, and that
We did.
I sent it all. I sent you all the passwords, and then you signed it all in so that it would be like a dry run for how it should go today. So you had logged in as the, I think the YouTube channel is actually under the events.
It is, but
Right?
but it's not the same password for
No,
the
do you need me to
Google
send you the
account.
password?
I
Erin?
need the
Yeah.
password for the Google account. Yeah, that's what's holding me up.
Hold on. Yep.
Yeah, if you could send it privately to me in the chat, I think that would be appropriate.
Yeah.
And Chelsea and Maya are getting a good look at what it is like to be on the Vine Neighborhood Association board.
Go
Ooh,
Zoom.
in COVID times, I should say.
All right.
This is not so bad. It's giving everybody time to log on, I suppose.
Is Brendan Maloney on the call?
I'll expose him. Yes, he is.
Brendan, you're getting a ribbing tonight. Just get ready for it.
Ugh.
Who wants to talk smack about Brendan while he's busy on another call?
I
I
think
get 50 cents a comment.
it might just be you on that one, Jeremy.
I could raise a couple dollars then. That's not actually true.
I'll rib Brendan for a minute. Brendan
Good,
has
good.
the second best hair on the VNA, only surpassed by Aaron Harris.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Brendan's got some good hair, though. He's got some
I've
good
heard-
hair.
I've heard he has some well manicured cuticles.
Brendan Maloney's mother still shovels his walkway. How about that? Is that smack?
Oh, nice. That was a nice dig. Nice dig.
If Courtney were here, I'd give the credit to her for my hair.
Wait,
but-
still? I didn't know that was a thing for anybody. Can I sign up for that?
Did you get the password, Aaron? Are you good? Should be in the chat.
You see my message? It was not the correct password. I need the Google Drive events password, not the YouTube events password.
I don't
It should be this.
know if I have that.
I think.
I have two different options
the-
I've been given, and neither of them are correct. I'm gonna
I'm sorry.
try.
This is the one we should have used last time that worked.
Okay.
Because I have that one, and then I have the one to the Zoom, which is already clearly working because we're in it. So those are this has to be the one you used last time, because this would have been the one I sent you last time when we did
Okay,
it.
but
It
is
worked.
it the same? But we don't know if it's the same password for the Google account and the YouTube account.
Yeah, that's correct. I don't know about. the
We don't
Google
know if
account.
it's the same. Okay, well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna try logging in on YouTube, and we will see how that goes.
Well, here we all are, it looks like. We haven't had such a full house in a while. This is exciting. Feels like the beginning of something. well, for the sake of time, would it be okay if I breeze through like welcome and introductions? And then I feel like maybe, I don't know, that would be okay to get chopped off of our live stream and loop people in during that, or should we hold off? Because that's not really, I mean, that's kind of an optional added little part of the agenda tonight. Since we are recording and hopefully we'll be able to add all of this either way to our YouTube channel after the fact at least. I'm going to go ahead and call us to order for our rare May meeting of the Vine Neighborhood Association Board of Directors 2021 edition, and it is 5:41. Maggie,
Yes,
were you going to be doing minutes tonight, or was Eddie doing minutes tonight?
Eddie's doing minutes tonight. Today.
Okay, great. Well then, Eddie, are you okay with just we'll get started with introductions, and we don't really need to, you know, go into great detail with the minutes for that, but hopefully they can get this up and running while we get through that process.
Yep. I'm following the agenda that you sent out, but I'm flexible and can add in notes if we skip around a bit.
Well, I mean, I guess I just want to welcome everybody for our first meeting together with our new, I guess we haven't officially announced the results, but I'm gonna go ahead and assume that we have some new board members tonight. And welcome to Chelsea and Maya. And did I see somebody? I think Maya dropped. Oh, I think she's back. Okay. I think we're back.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was just saying welcome to Chelsea and Maya, and we don't always take like some time to introduce ourselves, but it's a good time to pause tonight and give some time, even though some of us probably haven't met in person before, but at least you know, I want to encourage everybody for this like little introductions to as you introduce yourself, if you're willing to turn on your camera or able to turn on your camera and feel comfortable with that, I'll encourage everybody to do that. But of course, it's up to each person and where they're at. So would it be putting the two of you on the spot to introduce yourselves, or because you can totally pass the baton and one of us can go first, round robin style.
Oh. No, I'm comfortable with sharing. What are you wanting to hear about that?
Yeah, I guess just like what's your relationship? I mean, of course you know, you guys applied, you filled out applications, but like tell us a little something extra about your relationship with Vine, and about how did you even hear about, you know, what goes on at the VNA, and maybe something that will give us the opportunity to connect a little bit, even though we're like meeting virtually, you know, just something maybe about yourself that is unrelated, if you want to do that.
I'll try and keep it short and sweet. I'm from the area, went to Western, rented here as a student, wonderful experience. Did life a little bit elsewhere. And then I bought my home maybe a year and a half ago. And Sally, lovely Sally, who helped me pick out my paint, was like, you need to go to these meetings. So I started going to these meetings and everyone was so friendly. And then I met Maggie and then I met Jeremy. Jeremy's like, hey, you should really do this and get more involved. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting idea. We'll see. So hence this whole adventure and process. I adopted a COVID puppy. So I have a 2.5-year-old curly golden. So we go for lots and lots of walks. So I'm often wandering around the neighborhood, meeting people and smiling at houses. That counts as an introduction.
Thank you. And Maya, if you want to go next, that's great. If you don't, Chelsea, you can tag somebody to go next if you want.
I'm fine with that. Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Maya. Some of you know me as like the artist who paints around town, and in the Vine Neighborhood Association. I made a mural on the side of Jaybird Vintage for the Vine Neighborhood Association. That's basically 94 faces of police brutality and mob violence in the past 25 years. And then I also was the core organizer for the Vine Neighborhood Juneteenth party last year. So I've been a little tied in with like what we've been doing and trying to make the Vine Neighborhood a better place for everyone to enjoy. And I work on graphic novels. I'm an artist, and I'm also just like a community organizer who likes to make people happy and make places better and be a home for everyone. So that's me.
And do you want to tag somebody to go next?
I tag you, Sarah.
No problem. Sorry, give me just 1 second. I've been pulled into this tech controversy and I think I got it. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that worked. I'm Sarah. I moved into the Vine neighborhood in 2008 while I was still going to Western, and rented a place that I shared with college roommates for a few years on West Edge. And it was like the coolest place I had ever lived in my mind. I just like, as soon as I made a friend in Vine sometime in college, and she lived in one of these beautiful old houses with so much character, and I just fell in love with this neighborhood and knew I had to move here while I was in Kalamazoo, because it just seemed like the place that's like a lot of people like being very alive. Like it just felt like the most alive neighborhood ever. And so I ended up sticking around, obviously, and bought a house in Vine in 2010 with my ex, which turned out to be a bit of a mess, but things worked out in the end, and I'm still here. And I love this old house, and it's kind of a huge pain in the butt too. And I don't think I'll ever be able to sell it because I put a lot of my own remodeling like energy and into it. And I've been on the board for like 4 years or something now. And I just really am here to try to give something back to Vine that's like given so much to me, and also kind of it's the best opportunity to connect to people in normal circumstances. Through pandemic, debatable, but it's still, you know, I guess the connections that we've strengthened, like in this board and in this organization, like through this shared experience together, like getting through this pandemic, that's something big. too, right? So yeah, I'm gonna, oh, and just like a personal thing about myself, I'm gonna just copy the dogs thing. I was never a dog person for my whole life until I got my dog that I have now, and he was my gateway dog, I call him, and now I have two, and I don't think I'll ever not have a dog again. So I would like to tag Jeremy Turpinning, if you're all right with that.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, Jeremy.
Yes.
Good, good. Because I just hit a bunch of buttons randomly. So if you don't know this about me, I'm a tech wizard that can't see it. And that's fun sometimes. So Maya, I'm sure your painting is absolutely marvelous. However, I have no idea what it looks like, but I've told it's great. Some things to know about me is I'd like to be referred to as the tool that does, because I like doing things instead of talking about them. And action-packed is a fun way to live. And continuing the dog theme, I have a dog that's 11 inches high and 70 pounds wide.
Who would you like to tag, Jer?
I say Aaron Harris looks like a guilty suspect.
Thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, I appreciate that. I always look guilty. I'm Erin Harris. I have been a special director on the board for, I think it's coming up on 2 years. I'm not really sure about the concept of time anymore. I think it's coming up on 2 years. I've lived in the Vine for almost 3. I specifically chose to live in the Vine very deliberately. I was drawn to it. I spent a lot of time in the Vine before I lived here. One of my best friends owned Hadron Kalamazoo. Courtney's one of my best friends who now owns Way Salon. I just kind of had to be in the neighborhood. I'm a realtor, so I see a lot of neighborhoods, and I really enjoy the energy here. I will say that I think it was the best place to be during the pandemic. You could sit on your porch and still yell at people, and yeah. So I absolutely love living in this neighborhood. I love being able to have access to, all the life that's happening. I've got a COVID cat who at any point will probably attack the back of my chair. He likes to do that during meetings. So, and I'm a mom. I have almost 14 and 16-year-olds that are at home, and I have twins that are about to graduate from Western. And that's about it. That's about it. I am going to pass to Miss Gwendolyn.
Hello, everyone. So I am excited to. What's happening here?
You're on mute, Gwendolyn. I hit the ask to unmute button, so you should be good now.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Hello? Okay. So just know I was just saying congratulations to all of the new electeds. I have been a fan of the Vine Neighborhood Association for a very long time, ever since my AmeriCorps days, which was about 10 years ago when I met Steve. And since then, we have kind of been growing the relationship over the years to the point where Hope to Navigation has an office inside of the Vine, where we conduct obviously day-to-day business of what our organization does, but we most notably have the Jobs Club there, which is Justice Against Bullying at School. So I am just happy to be here. I do a lot of stuff in the community, and I am just so excited about the mission and the work that Vine does, and the intentionality of this board to actually create equitable outcomes for the residents of the Vine neighborhood. So that's why I am committed to the neighborhood as well as the board, because I know that a lot of organizations talk about equity, but very few of them actually are intentional about implementing it in their systems and their mission and their statement of purpose. So I am glad to know that the board and the director actually not only talk about equity and that Black Lives Matter, but they actually do it in practice. So that's me. Do I have somebody to pass it to? I'm going to pass it to Brendan.
All
Brendan
right.
Maloney, you're up.
All right, perfect. And I was in the car for a quick minute there, guys. So I'm back in my house. I'm Brendan Maloney. I work at Bronson Healthcare Group as the sustainability coordinator, which means I do a lot of environmental stuff and a lot of environmental initiatives at the hospital. I also sit on a few different boards. The Community Homeworks with Steve, I sit on that board. I also sit on the Green Home Institute, as well as the Kalamazoo Area Transportation Study Community Advisory Board, which is kind of fun. Yeah, just love the neighborhood. I've moved here about 3 years ago. Just love being a participant in the neighborhood and engaging with people. And more stuff about me. I have a dog named Nola that I live here on Oak Street with. And I also coach cross country at Kalamazoo College. So I assistant coach there, kind of helping kids with cross country and finding a sport. So I'm just happy to be here and love being a part of this board. So thank you. Oh, I have to pick someone, right? Oh gosh. Let's see here. Courtney, have you gone?
Hi, can you hear me with these earbuds on? Okay, good. Hi, I'm super awkward in formal speaking settings, so I'm just gonna throw that out there. But I own Sway Salon. I've been in the Vine for about 3 years, but in Kalamazoo forever. So I think if you live in Kalamazoo, the Vine is just part of who you are, no matter at what point in your life you are here, you are stuck forever. But I love it here, and I don't know, I plan on being here for a long time, running my salon. We are killing it, and we have 5 girls here, and one of those girls lives in the neighborhood, so that's pretty cool. A lot of our clients are from the neighborhood. Yeah, so about me, I have 3 kids and a husband of 10 years this year. So, all right, Eddie, you're next.
Hi, I'm Eddie DeGraw. I am the one odd duck that doesn't live in the Vine. I work in the Vine. Okay, Aaron just signaled that they have also moved out of the Vine. So I work for Building Blocks of Kalamazoo. I have been with Building Blocks for about 4 years, and what we do is work with neighbors to revitalize their streets by getting them involved, meeting one another and working on projects together to build trust, so they can eventually work to do community organizing to improve their streets. I love my job doing community organizing, but I also have another life, and I was a tattoo artist for over 10 years and owned a tattoo shop in the Vine that I have now given to my partner in trade for a tattoo. Tempest is now running the Heirloom Arts tattoo shop, which is in the building that VNA owns. And so I'm grateful for having that opportunity. I think the Vine Neighborhood Association is It's been very flexible for tenants, for folks trying to start up a small, like having an available space for folks that are super small business owners. But I have decided to retire from tattooing, and now I'm focused more on community organizing. A little bit more about me: I'm also a goat herder. I have a homestead, and I do fiber goats. So I have a cashmere mohair blend breed and Angora rabbits, and am learning how to use a spinning wheel. So I've got some strange hobbies, but I love the Vine because we used to live there. So I do have that to back me up. And it's great to be able to continue to stay involved. I definitely have a finger on the pulse of what the residents in Vine, what their concerns are, what their thoughts are about the neighborhood, and see a lot of stuff that I like to be able to bring back to the board to make sure that those voices are lifted up. So check. And Laura, have you gone yet? Yeah.
Actually, if I could interject briefly.
Oh yes, it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so I just asked that that we take some time in our agenda tonight and pause. And there are a number of organizers out in our community and around the country who have put together events to observe the 1-year anniversary of the murder of George Floyd. And in solidarity with those movements, that this organization has, partnered, in the past, and been in solidarity with those movements as consistently as possible. I wanted for us to observe 9 minutes and 29 seconds of silence together tonight to reflect and quiet ourselves in thinking about the Black lives lost to police brutality. So I will start that right now. Okay.
Thank you for doing that. I feel it is very powerful to be able to take time out of our hectic lives to recognize what's happening in the wider world. I'm going to pass it to Laura. So Laura.
Okay. Hi. Yeah, sorry, I feel very quiet now. Thanks for leading that, Sarah. That was really good. Hi, I'm Laura. I'll be on camera just for this little bit because it's allergy season and I just feel really terrible in my face and body right now. But it's nice to be here with you all today. It's nice to meet the new board members too. Yeah, I'm Laura. I live in Vine. I became a homeowner here a couple of years ago. Time seems really irrelevant, so I cannot tell you when off the top of my head how long I've lived here. But this is the second time that I lived in Vine too. I lived here a while ago as well. Yeah, I like a lot of what other folks have said, that Vine kind of just seems synonymous with Kalamazoo in a lot of really great ways. I'm a writer and an artist too, and it kind of seems like one of the really great places to be in town for those reasons. I've really enjoyed being on the Vine board because it just gives you such a great sense of the inner workings that go into kind of running a neighborhood association and sort of all the ins and outs of what a neighborhood is and needs and kind of how a neighborhood works as a living organism. So it's been really enlightening and great experience to be on the board for those reasons. I also got a COVID dog. I'll say that I did that too. At the very end of 2020, we got our Greyhound Luke in November of 2020. So we say that he was the best part of that year. And you'll probably see me walk around with him. He's a pretty unmistakable dog. I look like a million other queers who live in Vine, but Luke really sticks out. So you'll see him pretty easily walking around. Yeah, that's me. It's really nice to meet the new folks and to be here tonight. I'm trying to think. I think everyone is gone except for Maggie. Oh, and Aaron. I said Maggie first, so I'll call on Maggie.
Thanks, Laura. I think it is fitting that Erin goes last since it is her last meeting, and that seems like a nice sort of nod to the situation. My name's Margaret. I've lived in the neighborhood and in Kalamazoo since 2014, and I've owned a home in Vine for I think like 2.5 years, but like everybody has said, time seems super irrelevant these days. I am a stay-at-home mom, and I have 3 kids who are in elementary school. One's going to be 7 on Monday. The next one is 8, and then my oldest is 10. And I think you've probably seen at least 2/3 of them coming by and being distracting during the meeting already. So I'll apologize for that. I also have a dog, a cat, 3 fish, and a husband of like, I don't know, 20 years-ish, something like that. And I love the Vine for a lot of the reasons that people have said, but also for me, one of the big reasons why we decided to move here, live here in this neighborhood when we moved to Kalamazoo was that it felt like a neighborhood where kids would play on the streets and have street hockey games, and that there would be places my kids could just walk down to their friends' houses. And all those things have been true. And that's been a real blessing for me during the pandemic, that my kids can still socialize. And we're right on a corner lot on Merrill, which is a pretty busy street. And I have a giant play structure in my yard. And so there have been some days during pandemic times, like 12 kids playing in my yard, and I'm desperately handing out masks and shooting hand sanitizer all over the place. But it just feels like a place that you don't find very often anymore. You know, people live in big houses with big yards and no sidewalks, and they never feel connected to each other. And to me, that's what makes the Vine my home. And I really love it. And not just that my kids have friends, but I have friends. I think as you become an adult, it becomes really hard to have friends and to have real meaningful relationships. And I'm really happy to say that a lot of the people on this board are my real friends, my true friends, you know, and in addition to the people in my neighborhood. And so I'm just really grateful for all of you, even if we haven't had a chance to be close, and even if you're just new, the fact that we're all here and we all care about this neighborhood enough time to put our time and our heart and our energy into it. I think that says everything about what this neighborhood is. And that's why I'm here, you know. I actually started off representing the neighborhood on the Community Development Advisory Act committee of the city before I was even on the board. So I was kind of like grandfathered onto the board, I guess, when I got elected, because I was already kind of de facto a representative. And so I still continue to hold that seat, but I'm actually really happy that now Chelsea is both on the Neighborhood Association and on CDAC. So if I get too exhausted or don't get elected, haha, there's somebody to take my place. And I think that's probably all I have to say about myself. So it's nice to see you all, and welcome to the new board of directors, everyone. And with that, I will hand it off to the fabulous Erin.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Yeah, my name's Erin. I moved into Vine as a college sophomore at Kalamazoo College 7 years ago, which feels absolutely bizarre to say, like Aaron Harris. Time, what is it? I don't know if that's an Aaron thing. I don't know if it's everybody right now, probably the latter. Yeah, so when I was a senior, studying journalism at K, I did my senior thesis. It was a series of reported pieces about the Vine neighborhood. Having lived there for 3 years already, I was feeling pretty well connected and knew a lot of really incredible people doing incredible stuff. And that project was a real opportunity to kind of dig in deeper. It was how I first met Steve, who maybe a short year or two later reached out to me to let me know that the Neighborhood Association was recruiting directors, and I ran. And now here I am 3 years later at the end of my term. I living in Vine for the past 7 years. I will let you in on a secret. I graduated college fully intending to move to Portland, Oregon, and it didn't work out. And obviously, you know, it was some things were precarious on the other end of the line, which is a story for perhaps over beverages. And you know, I had an internship doing digital content strategy with Handmade Kalamazoo here. And I was like, why, you know, it just clicked for me one day, like, why would I go anywhere else when, you know, the sort of the path that I have been hoping to follow starts here. And I stayed in a big way, which is pretty rare for Kalamazoo College alumni. As of today, I am officially a resident of the Oakwood neighborhood. So thankfully, Jeremy has reassured me I can still use his power tools if I need to. So I feel like that makes me as much of a neighbor as anyone. But yeah, being on the board has been a really incredible experience and has allowed me to, you know, learn a lot about the city government and, you know, what it means to serve on a nonprofit directorship and how to connect with individuals in the community, how to develop programming. And it's been an incredible opportunity to meet a lot of incredible folks, many of whom are present tonight that I would never have met otherwise. So yeah, I'm kind of ending this chapter with a lot of gratitude and a lot of reflection, and very much looking forward to what comes next. About that, I'm not entirely sure, but we will certainly see. So, and sort of my final love letter to the VNA was alongside Maggie and Eddie, coordinating the election. Had a lot of fun hanging out in spreadsheets. We ran a very, very successful virtual election, and I am so excited to be able to be the one to announce the results tonight, as well as do some super exciting high-tech online voting to decide the members of the executive committee. It's going to be a blast, and we'll see how it goes. So, Eddie.
I just realized that I am making a lot of assumptions on people's pronouns, and we didn't do pronouns, and I'm the note taker. So if we could, if anyone wants to clarify pronouns, I'm just trying to have accurate notes, so I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was assuming pronouns as I was typing, so I just wanted to jump in real quick before I keep typing more notes.
Yes, absolutely. I use she, her pronouns.
Great.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you for asking. You can rename your yourself with your pronouns if you feel comfortable with that. And before I completely pass the baton over to our election committee facilitators for the rest of the business of this meeting, I want to pause for two things. One is to, I wish, like, Zoom applause does not work. So I don't want to ask for a round of applause,
We could
but
do
whatever we can do to collectively express gratitude for Aaron serving 3 amazing years on this board. You saved our butts so many times. You put in so much energy, dedication, expertise, and pushed the hard questions that need to be asked and started hard conversations that needed to be had. And I am so grateful for what you've done for this organization and our neighborhood and for all of us as your friends. So thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much. That is very, very kind. I have been making a big deal of my move to Oakwood because Vine is the only place I've ever lived in Kalamazoo, and Kalamazoo is the only place I've ever lived other than my hometown. And I was discussing this with some of my friends who live in Metro Detroit. And I told them it was an 8-minute drive to my new house, and they told me to very politely to shut my mouth. So with that anecdote, I am not far away. You will still see me. I'm still around, and you all have my contact information. So we'll still be in touch. And I am looking forward to the day where we can all join on the porch at O'Duffy's again.
Definitely. I actually just maybe preemptively suggested to Jamie the other day when I had my first meal out in like a year over there that we better get together over there again next time. So, but thank you so much, Aaron. And I loved hearing your story about, you know, the arc of your journey here. And just want to say, like, we're so grateful to just continue to have you in Kalamazoo in our larger community. And I am personally thrilled that you're deciding to stick around. And I know we'll see you. And I also secondly wanted to put Steve on the spot for a second to take a minute. And even though, of course, you know all of us in some capacity, go ahead and maybe we don't all know like the things that some of us shared as far as what the heck brought you to the Vine neighborhood? I don't think we all know that. What is something that we might not know about Steve? And didn't want to skip over you.
Thank you. I apologize. I'm running tardy today. Thank you. I was a stay-at-home father in the Vine neighborhood, and I guess originally how we ended up in the Vine neighborhood is I had lived out at a cooperative in Delton at Circle Pines, and we came into Kalamazoo occasionally to touch base with civilization, whatever it was. And we found ourselves gravitating towards this neighborhood, and we really enjoyed it. And so my wife and I were living in Phoenix, Arizona, and we wanted to move back to Michigan. She's from Flint, and I grew up on the east side of the state. And we wanted to be close to our parents, but not so close that they could just show up on our doorstep. So I said, what about a place like Kalamazoo? It sounded like a great, like the neighborhood, the Vine neighborhood was great. We came here. We immediately fell in love with it. I lived on Locust Court for 8 years, which was dangerously close to the pub, but it was a nice small little community. I was a stay-at-home father. I pushed a stroller all over this neighborhood. And I had a friend that worked at the neighborhood association, and he told me that I should consider running for throwing my hat in the ring for the executive director. I was a Montessori teacher at the time. I was doing my student teaching at the Montessori school on Howard. I had just graduated from the Adrian Dominican Montessori Teacher Institute, run by Dominican nuns. There was 39 women and myself, and I loved it. I felt deeply in harmony with Dr. Montessori's philosophy. I think it made me a much better parent, even if I didn't spend a minute in the classroom. But I realized that I was not, I wasn't cut out to spend 40 to 50 hours a week with 30 to 40, 3 to 4-year-old kids. And so I saw the opportunity at the VNA and I kept interviewing and I spoke from the heart. It was the easiest interview I ever had. I said, there's a beautiful foundation within this neighborhood. There's a lot of really neat people here, but we're all on different blocks and we don't feel connected. And the neighborhood association at the time was run predominantly by property managers. And if the properties were renting, it was cool. And it was real loose and fast at the time. And this was about 20 years ago. So I want to end it right there and I'll pick it up at some other time. But what I do want to say is that hearing all of your stories and hearing you talk about Vine and how special it is to you and your friends and your family, and Maggie, hearing you talk about your kids, it's so powerful. It's such a powerful testimony to me that I thought this neighborhood, I really believed in this neighborhood, but to see it come to fruition, to see all these folks here that are plugging in and have this beautiful connection to this neighborhood, it was a grind. It did not happen overnight. It was a long haul. But I am so appreciative of all of you that are willing to come and plug in and bring your energy and your love and all the things that you do that help make it special. And when I walk through this neighborhood now, I just love it. And I just want to thank you all from my heart as a person, because I'm raising my family here. And for better or worse, this is what I did as an adult. I've been here 14 years. So I love it. I love that you feel as strongly as you do and that you bring your passions and your own stories and your own perspectives. And I tip my hat to you all. So thank you. I'll go cry in the corner now.
Thank you, Steve.
Steve's gonna make us all cry. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you for leading with authenticity, as always. We appreciate you so. And with that beautiful soliloquy, we will move into our business, and I will pass facilitation duties over to our election committee. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you, Sarah. So the election committee, as I mentioned shortly ago, has consisted of Maggie, Eddie, and myself. We have been so excited for this meeting to finally kind of bring it all together. And I am going to be facilitating for the majority of the rest of the meeting. I partially because of my Zoom savviness and also partially because as the only outgoing director this year, made a lot of sense for me to be the one handling the lockbox with all of the votes. So coming up, we have to or I will be, I guess, announcing the results of the election. And as a board, we will be certifying them. Sarah, is that just, and forgive me, I should have clarified this before, but is that as simple as me asking for a motion to certify the votes and us getting a motion in a second?
In the past, I don't think we've gone even as far as to use a motion. It was actually because of the weird nature of not having an annual meeting where it would have been announced. Announcing the results now wouldn't even normally be part of a business meeting, but however you want to do it, we'll feel just fine.
All right. Well, to be, all right, so cool, perfect, thank you. So I'll be sharing the results of the Board of Directors election, which was between, we had 6 seats and 6 candidates running because Courtney elected to drop from the directorship race in favor of a special directorship. So board members will serve either 3 or 2 years, depending on number of votes earned. Shortly after that, we will be appointing special directors. We have 4 spots and we have 4 candidates standing for special directorships. So that will, again, be an easy appointment. It's going to be a great night for everybody. And then shortly after that, we will have our executive committee election. So we will be voting on who will hold the roles of chair, vice chair, treasurer, and secretary. We will ask individuals to announce their candidacy for those roles in this meeting presently. And specials as well as at-large board directors are eligible for those roles. So I would love to, and then I pass the mic back to Sarah and we'll talk a little business and then we'll wrap up. So I would love to take some space for questions, comments, concerns before we get into the thick of it.
I thought that we had determined that Sarah and I would take the 2-year. Was I wrong with that?
So I suppose there can be, I did not have that formally in writing. That was not part of our process, but I appreciate it. And
I just thought we
I
voted on it.
suppose-
So
Did we? Was I there for that? Sarah, do you recall?
Brendan's right. I think there was actually, I guess there was a vote to allow for that possibility as part of the structuring of the seats. And both of us did volunteer and confirm that we would be willing to accept the 2-year appointment since we've already served a year beyond our first 3 or our first months. So sorry if
how
that
about
confuses
this?
anything.
How about that was not, no, it's okay. That was just unexpected for me. So I guess, how about this? I will announce the results as I have them. And folks can do some negotiating of term lengths, perhaps at the first official business meeting of this year. Does that feel appropriate? Okay, rather than hashing it out tonight. So rest assured, as long as you want to be on the board, you will be able to be on the board. It's almost certain. So yeah, first of all, I want to say we ran an exceptionally successful virtual election. It was our first time using a Google form. It was our first time not having the election physically in person at O'Duffy's. We received 122 ballots. They were cast by 116 different individuals. So we only had 13 duplicate votes, most of which were clearly made in error. And we only had 1 vote that was declared, I guess, invalid because of the person's lack of residency in Vine and lack of connection to the neighborhood. So that's some pretty good stats. It went really, really well. Looking forward to the ability to have a hybrid or virtual election in the future as an option, as Steve always says, kicking and screaming into the 21st century. And maybe we'll get there by 2100. We'll see. Yeah, all right. So blah, blah, blah. Without any further ado, the directors who have won 2-year seats, so serving until 2023, are Chelsea, Brendan, and Jeremy. And the directors who have won 3-year seats are Sarah, Maggie, and Maya. So congratulations, everyone present will be serving 2 to 3 years, or really probably as many as you want on the Vine Neighborhood Association board. Congratulations. So thanks so much, everybody, for helping get the word out, and for being willing to run and share of yourself and your time. It's amazing. And it shouldn't go unthanked. So thanks.
Aaron, will you just repeat that again for the notes? I'm sorry. So
yes, so the
seats
directors who have won 2-year seats are Chelsea, Brendan, and Jeremy.
Okay.
And the directors who have won 3-year seats are Sarah, Maggie, and Maya. Awesome. So I am happy to move right into special directorship appointments, unless there is any need for any additional celebration or anyone has questions or comments at this time.
I'd just like to say this is the first time I've been elected to the board, so
it is
very excited.
Brendan
about
has
it. Thank
been
you,
like
guys. Thank
appointed and wiggled his way up to this point. So congratulations on your first official.
Twice rejected, and then just I think squeezed down the board somehow. So thank you, guys. Thank you.
I think we're going to have to recount some votes on that, though. I'm not entirely sure.
That's a very moving acceptance speech, Brendan.
Steve, there's no need for a recount. I got the spreadsheet. I will send it to you Call me if you need help figuring out how to open it.
Erin and I had a very elaborate meeting with lots of spreadsheets and lots of math. So we did our best and due diligence. I can report that.
I built a calculator in Excel. I love
I
to
think
geek out
Brendan-
on that kind of stuff. So
I think Brendan's is a testimony to the fact that if you want to volunteer with the VNA, you can.
absolutely. We have a need. Awesome. So I would love to move on to special directorship appointments. So special directors are individuals who are appointed for a 1-year term to the board. They need not live or work in the neighborhood to qualify. However, they often do. And currently in consideration due to board nominations, I suppose, for special director positions are Gwendolyn Hooker, Remy Harrington, Aaron Harris, and Courtney Kamen. I don't believe I can motion for that because I'm the one proposing it. So I would warmly like to suggest that someone make a motion to appoint all 4 individuals to special directorship positions.
I make a motion that we appoint the 4 suggested individuals to the 1-year director positions.
Is there a second?
I'll second
right.
Jeremy's. Oh, unless Maya
so-
wants, yeah.
Motion by Jeremy, second by Brendan. And seconded by Maya. Who can second because she is an at-large board member at this time. All in favor of the motion to appoint all 4 candidates to special directorship positions, please either say yes verbally, wave, give a thumbs up emoji, pop it in the chat. You got so many options these days. All right, do we have any opposed?
Yeah.
Jeremy, you are breaking up a little bit. I believe that was a yes that got strained through the telephone. Jeremy texted me to let me know he's having some tech difficulties on his end. So
He did motion, so that would be a big turnaround if it.
That would be kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's not usually that high drama. Maybe it could be. Excellent. Eddie, any repeats needed for minutes taking purposes? All right. In that case, I would like to welcome Gwendolyn, Remy, Courtney, and Aaron to the board for a year as special directors. Welcome, welcome. Awesome. So next we are going to elect board members and special directors if they want to our executive committee roles. So our executive committee is composed of 4 roles: chair, vice chair, treasurer, and secretary. You should have received descriptions of those roles in the bylaws as I emailed them out to you. However, they are ever changing and expansive. As I said, everyone present is eligible to run except for Steve. Sorry, Steve. We would like to encourage you to consider one or multiple roles in case you're not elected for your first pick. For example, we will be voting on chair first, and if you were hoping for chair, but you do not win the position, you are welcome and encouraged to run for vice chair and treasurer and secretary. We would love that. So, let's see. So as many of us know, these volunteer roles can be demanding and sharing the work can be beneficial to both parties as well as the whole board. So we'd like to encourage you to consider running as a team with another individual. I did ask via email to make that decision and clear it with the other person before today's meeting. However, I know that life happens, so I will definitely allow for some space to see if anybody wants to negotiate that, ideally in the chat. Or perhaps verbally, we will see. Yeah, Sarah, what's up?
I just wanted to add a couple technicalities for those who are joining us for the first time, especially that as far as eligibility and stuff, the only exclusions of eligibility for officerships, to clarify, are that Special directors are, this is just according to our bylaws, special directors are eligible for treasurer and secretary positions, but not the vice chair and chair positions. And then also, any one individual can actually hold multiple officerships. So you can, like, if you wanted to run for 2, you could. I don't know that anybody would ever or has ever, but other than chair and secretary, you can't be both of those at the same time. So just wanted
Excellent.
to give full.
Yeah, thank you for that clarification. I apologize for misleading folks about the eligibility of special directors. I was under the impression that special directors were eligible for any executive committee roles. So that is my bad, and I apologize. Sweet. So we are going to be using Zoom's live polling feature for this, kicking and screaming into the 21st century as we do. And so first, I would love to say, let's see, I'm gonna try to get the chat connected up here. There we go. All right. If you are interested in running for the role of chairperson of the Vine Neighborhood Association Board of Directors, please let me know in the chat. And if you do not have access to the chat, please let me know verbally at this time. Now would also be the time if you would like to run as a co-chair partnership. One or both people can say so in the chat. Or feel free to talk it out. It's going to take me a second to enter the poll information, so just let those keep coming in. Yeah, feel free to direct message me or say so to the whole chat. We're still figuring out etiquette for these things. As a
Steve, is there any like past
society.
history on why we don't allow specials to serve in those 2 roles?
Not that I'm aware of. I think except that traditionally the position was a little bit more transient, or was connected to the university, or they weren't. Sometimes the specials weren't nearly invested within the neighborhood. They brought a specific skill set, and so maybe it was the previous directors just thought it wasn't inappropriate for them to serve in that capacity. Pure speculation.
We have had 3 entries and 1 withdrawal. Anyone else interested in a chair position or a co-chairship? If anyone is negotiating a co-chairship currently, please let me know so I can give you time to figure it out.
Aaron, was the
Give everybody
withdrawal
an
of one
answer.
of the 3, or was there a 4th?
The withdrawal was of one of the 3. We are to 2 candidates currently.
Includes me, right?
It does.
Okay, I would be open to like a collaboration if that's like if that's something that the other person wants to do.
Excellent. I suppose I will facilitate that and say, is anybody interested in running as a co-chair alongside Maya?
All I want to say is that I am thrilled to see folks wanting and willing to step up into leadership. And as someone with some experience in this, if you feel comfortable stepping into that role, I will do everything I possibly can to support you to create continuity and fluidity in transferring that leadership. And I have full faith in our candidates. Thank you.
All right,
Aaron,
was that it? Go ahead.
Did we just transfer to 1 single ticket?
I think we did. So I just
Cool.
want to confirm. Okay, excellent. Jeremy has said yes to co-chair with Maya, which puts us at 1 ticket. Just because I want to test run the polling feature, I am going to run it anyway, just to get everybody acclimated to how it works, make sure that we're not having any tech support funny business happening. So I am going to All right, so let's see here. So it will also always be an option to abstain for any reason. And so I have launched the poll. You should now be, okay, so you can see all of the questions. So here's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna, we test ran this and it's, oh, the poll has ended. Oh, I goofed. I'm so sorry. Okay. All right, go ahead. So you should see a poll. I'm sorry, let me pull that one more time. Okay. All right, let me relaunch this real quick. Okay, it's still showing the other questions. So sorry about the multiplicity of questions. If everybody could vote for just the first question.
It doesn't let you just vote, so I mean, I would just put person one for the rest.
Just pick person one for the rest of them. I am so sorry about that. I thought I was getting ahead by
You're doing great.
Thank you.
If you want to relive this, it's on YouTube now. So
I know, right? Good thing I work for myself, because I don't know how hireable I'm gonna be after this. A rule breaker has selected person two. All right, I have 9 of 13 individuals voting. Would love to get 4 more votes in. I am unable to see who has and hasn't voted because it's completely anonymous. So we're waiting on 3 more votes, please. If you are having trouble voting, please let me know and we'll figure it out. All right, I'm still waiting on 3 more people. So if you have not voted yet, please place your vote not only for the first question, but for the following 3 as well. And pick whichever option you want. It doesn't matter. Excellent. We're waiting on 2 more votes here.
I think we agreed this is the time when I would go do 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 do.
We did. I was gonna do the Jeopardy background.
Okay, so here's the thing. I am not understanding how to put my vote in.
Are you able to see the poll?
No.
All right. Are you
I'm on
calling
my
in by
phone.
phone?
Is that?
You're on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's not reading it to you?
No.
Okay, excellent.
You have to press
So
where it-
Gwendolyn, are you able to access the chat function through the phone?
Yeah.
Okay, would you direct message me in the chat whether you would like to vote for Maya and Jeremy as a ticket or abstain?
Is that the only people running for chair?
Correct.
Oh, well, that's a no-brainer.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Do I need to vote? I'm just telling you I'm voting for him.
You can just tell me, that's fine too. Wanted to respect your ability to be private about your decision, but I know it's so funny how seriously we, the 3 of us were taking the election and making sure that all the votes were real. And it's like, everybody gets a spot, it doesn't matter. All right, cool. Well, with including Gwendolyn's vote with 12 of 13 votes in, I would like to motion that we elect Maya and Jeremy as a team to be co-chairs of the Vine Neighborhood Association Board of Directors. Can I get a second?
I would like to second that motion.
Awesome. Perfect. I don't know if I can technically motion, actually. I think we're just gonna roll with it. So I motioned and Chelsea seconded, and congrats to Maya and Jeremy, who as a team are our chairs for the year. Congratulations and thank you.
Yay, go team.
Woohoo!
All
This is
right.
great.
All right, so we will now be taking folks who want to run for vice chair. If you would like to run for vice chair, please say so or pop it in the chat or yeah, those are your options. Say so or pop it in the chat.
If we don't fill the
Do it.
position of vice chair, can what?
Sorry, Jeremy, you're cutting out for us.
I was just telling Brendan to do it.
If we don't fill the position of vice chair, does it can the chair people assume also the vice chair position? Just all the
That
power under one?
is an excellent question. That's an excellent question. I do think that somebody should run for vice chair. However, one or more people, perhaps.
Brendan Maloney should do it.
Unfortunately, the special directorship was the time to put other people on the spot. People do have to put themselves on the spot for this one. So. Ah, there he is. All right. Anybody else other than Brendan?
I just have a question for a point of clarity.
Yeah.
Special directors are not eligible to run for those positions, correct?
For chair and vice chair, special directors are not eligible. However, for secretary and treasurer, special directors are eligible.
Got it. Okay, perfect.
Would there be a possibility to make a motion for an exemption this year on that rule? If someone wanted to vote
I
for
would love that. And technically, I mean, technically, Maya and Jeremy are the chairs now. So technically it's at their discretion.
Well, I
think. I mean, I'm not sure.
I will make, even though it's the position that I'm running for, I will make the motion that any special directors could run for chair or vice chair if they so choose this year only.
I was also under that impression that we had made that decision for this year.
Just to be a little obnoxious about it, do you want a motion for both? Because if you motion for both, we would maybe have to redo the chair.
Just for vice chair.
Or maybe just vice chair, since it's really what we're talking about, I think.
Take back the notes, Eddie.
All right, cool.
Just for vice chair.
Also, I want to second that motion.
All right, well, Brendan motioned and Sarah seconded, and now special directors, including Remy, who has just joined us, welcome, are eligible to run, eligible to run for the vice chair position. So
I would like to propose that I can be Brendan's co-chair of vice chair, if that's a thing.
I'm into that.
I will also run with you, Gwendolyn.
If he would have me.
We need to get buttons if we do this.
I think
sure.
Excellent. All right. Well, any last minute contenders want to join the race, or we want to call it Gwendolyn and Brendan versus abstentions? All right, we're gonna go ahead and run that poll. Okay. There we go. I have it down to 1. So Remy, just so you can get the hang of this, you should see a poll popping up on your screen. If you have called in via phone, you may not be able to see it. If you have called in via phone and you're not able to see it, feel free to vote by DMing me or just saying so, or we can just probably go ahead and assume that everybody
I voted for them. I did it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you, Remy, for the vote. So
yeah, I voted for myself also, and Brendan.
Excellent. All right, well, that gives us 13 out of 13. So is there a motion to officially elect Brendan Maloney and Gwendolyn Hooker as a co-chairing vice chair team? Is there a motion on the floor for that?
Margaret will so motion.
Oh, I'll second.
All right, Margaret has motioned and Aaron has seconded. Congratulations to Brendan and Gwendolyn, our new vice chairs. Can I just say that I am so excited by the amount of collaboration and how many folks are going to be involved in board leadership. That is very, very exciting to me. And y'all are going to do an amazing job, and I can't wait to see you when I'm at Crow's Nest. Excellent. So we are now going to vote for the role of treasurer.
I'm sorry, there's a lot of note taking because it's going all over the place. Could you please repeat who motioned and who seconded?
Margaret motioned and Aaron Harris seconded.
Okay, thanks. Also, I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth. So if you are newer, I don't know your voice yet. Could you just say, "This is Chelsea and I just did this thing," or "This is blah 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 and I just did this thing"? I'm sorry, Maggie's really good at this. I'm just helping.
You're doing fantastic, Eddie. It's a lot and it's rapid and fast. And there's buttons.
There's lots of
Yeah,
buttons.
you're doing great. I was just thinking, oh my goodness, I'm so glad I passed this to you for this meeting because this is hairy.
Okay. Excellent. So I am now open for individuals who are interested in running for the role of treasurer. As someone who did that role for 2 years, I can reassure you if you're thinking about it, it's a great way to get to spend a lot of time with Steve. You get to meet our accountant, Tony. You get to have a lot of really fun and exciting meetings that involve a lot of spreadsheets, which I like personally. So if spreadsheets are your jam, consider this. And if you're treasurer, you will be in charge of making sure that there is a significant budget allotment for buttons and shirts for Hooker Maloney 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, crucial. Aaron, if I could, I also just wanted to add that Tony Gross is the VNA accountant, and he does most of the real heavy lifting with this. So don't be intimidated by this position. He's very, well, I don't know if I would say he's very easy to work with, but he's very knowledgeable, and he's been a great asset up at the Neighborhood Association for a long time. And I enjoy having Tony as part of the team. But even if you have no real background in being a treasurer or in finance, we all work real well together, and it's not as formidable as it might seem at first blush.
Excellent. So far we have Sarah on the ballot. Is anyone interested in running as a co-treasurer with Sarah, or is anyone interested in running independently?
I just wanted to say if we had one more co-chair, it'd be like almost the whole board on the.
That's true. And you know what? I love that idea personally. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and run that poll. All right, you should be able to vote at this time. Remy's phone is about to pass out. Excellent. Those votes are rolling in. All right, with 92% of the vote in, I would welcome a motion to elect Sarah as treasurer of the VNA Executive Committee for the coming year. Does anyone want to make that motion?
I motion.
I will second the motion.
Awesome. Remy has moved to elect Sarah, and Gwendolyn has seconded. All right, give Eddie a second to catch up there. All right, so I am now open for individuals who are interested in the secretary position, which includes the very exciting role of taking meeting minutes, and which Maggie and Eddie together have so diligently done for a really long time and have done a great job, so thanks. Is anyone interested in the secretary position?
really easy. I'm making it sound harder than it is. Oh, the peer pressure's palpable. Okay, fine. I'll run for secretary.
This is how I ended up treasurer.
Yeah, they can't sit with silence.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think somebody should really jump in and do co-secretary. If we've been
Eddie,
using Google,
I
and
would
you can
love
pass
to
them
jump
back and
in.
forth.
Yay! Chelsea's gonna co-secretary with me. Woo!
I would adore that opportunity.
We will also have buttons. Thank you very much.
Can't wait to get all this merch. I'm really excited. Is anyone else interested in running for secretary? Okay. Man, I was so excited about these polls and they all turned out so easy. All right. There it goes. Your options are Team Eddie and Chelsea or an abstention. Excellent. With 84% of the vote in, I would like to welcome a motion to officially elect Eddie and Chelsea as a team for the executive committee secretary position. Does anyone want to make that motion?
I'm gonna make the motion. As
Sarah
not
moves to
chair,
elect
I'm
Eddie and
excited to
Chelsea.
make my first motion in so long.
And Remy seconds. Excellent. Thank you all so much for participating and for being so willing to jump in. And I am actually getting a little jealous that I'm not going to be a part of this board that's going to have such great collaborative leadership. I really think that that is a great step in a direction that we have been moving and hoping and trying to move forward towards for a long time. So with that, I am done moderating this portion of the meeting. And I believe for the sake of not putting Maya and Jeremy immediately on the spot, as we would if it were an in-person meeting, which was kind of a ridiculous thing that we did, I'm going to go ahead and ask Sarah to wrap up the meeting, and Maya and Jeremy will be taking over next you all meet. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, Erin. You did an amazing job. I'm realizing what a better chair you would have been than me this whole time, of course, but I am so freaking excited about this executive committee, you guys. I've never seen something this like energizing and exciting happen in one of these board meetings. This is great. Yeah, so I want to make sure that folks who are here for the first time with us tonight have the knowledge and are filled in about what our current meeting schedule is. Though, as always, it is at any point subject to change based on consensus voting. And our current schedule is such that on the third Tuesday of every month, the full board meets at 5:30 p.m. Steve has been scheduling those Zoom meetings up until this point for a little while now, so we can probably continue on that way. We have been using the same invite for those, the same meeting room for those recurringly, also to try to make things easier for folks. And then the executive committee meeting is scheduled at 5:30 p.m. on the second Tuesday. So 1 week before the full board meets, the executive committee, which is a robust slate of 7 of us, I think, right now, which is so exciting, meets at 5:30, second Tuesday of each month. So I am excited to see you all there for our first planning session for our new leadership committee. And did anybody, I guess, have any questions before we adjourn tonight, or any comments or any other things they wanted to say.
I just want to thank Margaret for being secretary for so long and how much you were super dedicated to that role. And I think you deserve a moment of recognition for that. And when they said that I've been doing this for a long time, that's not true. I've only been doing it for a few months. So Margaret's been doing it for a very long time. So yes, little hand applause in the corners, little finger waving or whatever. So thank you so much, Margaret. I learned a lot from you in the very short amount of time I've been working on this as a co-chair with you. So thanks. Much appreciated.
Okay, and with that, we have gotten through all of our business in record time, and we will see each other in June. And I just want to thank everyone so much for bearing with me.
I just want to add something.
Go ahead, Gwendolyn. Yeah.
If I could. I just want to remind folks that Justice Against Bullying at School Awareness Month is in June, and we are participating in the Art Hub at the Vine Neighborhood Association on the first Friday in June. We're going to have a pull up and paint party. So, of course, everyone is encouraged and welcome to attend, come out, support, eat some sweet treats, paint a social justice canvas, and donate your painting or your money to a really great cause. So hopefully we'll see you all on the first Friday in front of the next board meeting. Thanks so much, Sarah, and thank you for all of your work and dedication through a very unprecedented time in history.
Thank you, Gwendolyn. That's a great reminder. That is a really cool thing that you have been taking charge of. And I hope everybody does take the opportunity to get out there and do a cool thing, which is, you know, the world we're re-entering. Yeah, so thank you so much for everyone who has kind of had endless patience and understanding and grace for this last year, this last 2 years, this last interminable, indeterminate amount of time that we have had a last term together. So I am so excited to move into the next one, and I just couldn't have more confidence in the ability that we will have to accomplish a lot of really great stuff over this upcoming year. So with that, we will adjourn. And anybody who wants to stick around and chat a little bit is welcome to. We've been kind of leaving the room open for a few minutes if that's doable. Erin, I think you're the administrator of the room, but if you want to like pass that off to anybody who did want to stick around or what have you.
Yeah, Sarah, are you sticking around?
Maybe just for a few minutes. I always like to leave that option open.
Say no more.
Folks have gotten a lot of good opportunity out of it.
It's like standing in the parking lot and talking after the meeting.
Right? but also don't hesitate if you've got to go like eat some dinner or jet off to a life of responsibility, or just go chill and decompress.
Thanks, everybody. I'm gonna go eat some dinner. Thanks a lot. That was great.
I am also going to bounce. Congratulations to everybody, and thank you all so much for being here and being in Vine and being part of the organization and for being friends. And this feels like a big